Welcome back to the Venom Workshop. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be telling you how to make your scooter. This is the 50cc scooter. I'm going to be showing you how to make it last forever, as long as possible. There are good little motors in them. If you don't damage them in any way, they will run for a very, very, very long time. So I'm going to go over a few things on how you make it last, and different things that are going to come up, and they come up on all scooters. These are both different brands. They're both a little bit different, but same style 50cc motor in them. So I'm going to just go over a couple of things and tell you how to make them last forever. Okay, so this one here is the Venom Aroma 50cc. It's a very nice little scooter. Again, it's got the 50cc engine, and I went ahead and pulled the covers off because I want to show you the belts on them and what happens when the belt starts wearing down and what you have to do. So that's why I have the cover off. I also took the cover off of that one. So that is a Boom 50cc scooter. It's a nice little scooter too. They're just different styles mostly. Like the Venom one comes with a cup holder, things like that, where that one doesn't have it. But it has a big open trunk space here. Also the Venom one, when you turn the button or for your key and you click it, it opens the trunk that way. Whereas this one here, there's actually a key lock on the side. But they're all pretty well the same thing when it comes to scooters. The motors are basically identical. But we're going to go over both of these, and there's some things that you can do to take care of it, and then you don't have anything breaking down. If you do, there's a lot of easy maintenance that can be done on these scooters as well to keep them running tip-top. And taking care of your scooter is going to be the biggest thing. You don't want it to get all gunked up and full of mud and stuff on the bottom, because then it'll start rusting the steel on it. So you want to be very careful when it comes to stuff like that. Like this one here, they both usually have the batteries in the floor. So the batteries in the floor of that one, you just have to take those two screws out there. And this one, actually, I'm going to be taking the battery out of it, because this one's dead and it needs to be charged. It's been sitting for quite a while. So this one's pretty easy. You just pull up the mat on them. They just have little tabs that pop into the floor, and you just fold it down like this. I'm gonna get a Phillips screwdriver. I'm gonna go ahead and take the battery right out of this and let it charge. If you're going to be leaving this sit in the winter time, you're gonna wanna pop the battery out of it and just put it on a battery tender, and it'll take care of it. And you won't have to worry about it then. And then right when the season starts again, go ahead and pop the battery in. If you live in a place like California or like Vancouver here, and you can ride year round, you don't need to pop the battery out of it during the winter, because it stays warm enough that it'll be fine. And you're most likely going to be riding it anyway, so you have nothing to worry about there. The battery does charge as you ride. Eventually batteries do go bad. Like it's just something that happens in any vehicle, cars, trucks, anything. Batteries do go bad sometimes. So if you have to buy a replacement for it, it's not a big deal. This one, I think I should be able to charge it. So I'm going to grab a Phillips screwdriver and we're going to pop it out. All right. This battery here probably has quite a few years on it. I think this is an older model. We've had this one for a while. It's still a good little scooter though, and it still starts and runs really good. There we are. And you'll notice that it has its little fuse pack right beside the battery. Some have them at the battery, some don't. So if you open your scooter up and you're looking at the battery and it doesn't have the fuse right at the battery, some models it's situated in a different place. It's usually under the seat, or it's usually in a place where you can get to it quite easily. All right, so we're gonna pop this battery out and let's go get it on our charger. All right. All right, so let's let the, oh, so this battery is really low, so it's gonna recondition it. And most digital chargers have the recondition option on it. So I'm just gonna let this go. And when it's done reconditioning it, it will go ahead and charge it then, and I can put it back in the bike. Alrighty, so we've got our CVT cover off here. And you're gonna see on where our variator is up at the front here, you'll see a lot of soot and not all that dirt picked up there, right there. And there's some at the bottom here, that's belt dust. So as this belt wears down, it's gonna create some dust inside here. This belt's not too bad. I think we just changed it not that long ago. So basically as this operates, what'll happen is the clutch and the engine spins this belt faster, the clutch grabs the belt and the rear tire takes off and runs. But just wearing on the inside of your clutch here and your variator in the front will wear this belt out. So that's part of it. You're gonna have to change it at least once a season for sure. And you'll know when your belt starts to wear because you'll be accelerating and you have a very high RPM, but you're not moving very fast. And that's a good indication that your belt there is starting to wear down a bit. So when you do to open this up and take your belt out and off to change it, usually what I do is I clean all the inside of here with a little bit of brake clean or sea foam or something like that. You can spray it around in here and it'll clean all this off and get that brake dust out of there. So you want to do that. You want to keep it nice and clean inside your CVT cover. So before I put this one back on, I'll give it a spray and it'll clean it off. I think I have some spray laying around here, so I'll give it a spray right now and just show you how fast it comes off. I got a little brake clean here. I'm gonna give it a little quick spray and you can see how fast that comes off like that. I don't want to spray a whole bunch of brake clean onto my belts or anything. I would usually do this when the belt is off, but I'm not taking that belt off. It's pretty new, so I have nothing to worry about there. And the other one is the exact same. I'll go over and take a look at the other scooter in a minute. Another thing you'd want to do is we're going to take this air filter off because I want to show you what's behind that and how to keep that clean as well. So I'm going to take that off, and you don't want this getting full of crud or nothing because then the carb is really pulling hard to try to get air through there. If you leave it get so dirty that it's plugged up, it's not going to allow any air through at all. So let's go ahead and pull this off and we'll have a look at the air filter at the same time. All right, so let's get this cover off. And there's just a couple of screws holding on. Here. So just pull that cover off like that, and then you have a foam cover that goes on here, and this one looks like maybe got a little bit of gas in it. This one had a blown ring, this scooter, so I actually rebuilt the motor in it, and that's what that remnants of that oil are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray all this. There's not much oil. It's just a little dribble type thing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some brake clean. I'm going to clean out all here. Again, this filter too as well is washable, and you can wash it in regular gas if you want. Let it dry out, and then you can put it back in. But you'll notice it was sucking some dirt into the back here, and then you can see the screen on that side. So see how nice and clean that is compared to how dirty that is on the outside. So we're going to give that a clean, and then we're going to put it back in. And again, I'm just going to give it a spray, probably with some brake clean, and I'll show it to you after I'm all done. All right, so now our air filter looks really good, so I can go ahead. And I sprayed out all the inside of here too. Now it's all clean. So I go ahead and put my, I don't want to put my filter in there just yet. Put our little plastic over. And if you find, after you've cleaned it, that it's way too big and it doesn't want to fit in this hole, let it dry out a tiny bit. Once it's dry a little bit more, it'll fit in better. This one I let dry for a little tiny bit. It's still moist, but it won't hurt it. There we go. Now we can put our cover back on. Just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put the screws back in. It's going to be the same way you just took them out. I'm going to do that off camera, and then we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to take a look at the oil, and we're going to talk about changing the oil. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down, we're going to check the oil. So this is our oil filler cap. This thing's got brand new oil in it, because like I said, I rebuilt the engine, so it's got brand new oil in it. Now, when you check the oil, you don't want to check it on the cant like that. You want to screw it all the way in. Stand your bike up straight like that, the way it would usually be sitting on the road. And then you take your dipstick out. Because when it's laying on its side there, it won't get a proper reading. There we go. And it should come up right to the top of these hash marks here when it's full. And you'd want to change your oil on these scooters, I would say at least every 500 to 700 miles. And I know that's it's saying more, more times than recommended, but these are a 50cc engine, and you do want to make sure that the engine oil is still really good in it. If you put synthetic oil in it, do not do that during break-in period. Synthetic oil and break-in time just doesn't work out. So go with your regular oil for your first few oil changes, and then you can go to a synthetic. And then you could probably go to maybe, like I said, 750 to 1,000 miles, but 500 to 750 is what I recommend between oil changes. And like I said, I haven't read the manual on this. I just know from experience, if I was going to be riding one of these, I would be changing it every 500 miles or so. And if you look up here, so up on this scooter, up here is the spark plug. I know you can't see it very well. I'm going to flip down the camera a little bit so you can see right up here. You want to take that out, check that plug every once in a while. I change the plug no matter what, at least once a season, because your spark plug does get blackened up and it will start failing. So you want to make sure. And if you notice on both these units, they're both the exact same motor. So everything I'm saying from one to the other is the same. Another thing is, once a season at least, just do a check on your lights. Make sure all your signal lights are working, front and back. Just make sure they're working both sides. Go to the other side. Make sure your horn works. You want to just make sure that anytime that anything's going to happen, and you'll want to check your high-low beams. This scooter won't start because I have the cover off it, and I can't kickstart it or anything. But the headlight comes on this when it starts. But you can test a lot of things out without having that cover on. But check your high-low beams. Make sure they work really good. All that little stuff. Check your tire pressure. Make sure you have the right tire pressure in them. So you can come down here and you can look right here. Now to find the tire pressure on the tire, just give it a wipe and it should show what max air pressure is. on the tire. And it might not be on this side, it might be on the other side. It's probably around 25, 30 pounds, I'd imagine. I'm gonna grab my flashlight. There we go. 38 pounds is operating temperature, or operating pressure. So if it says 38 pounds, I would probably drop that down to about 32, because 38 pounds would make that tire pretty hard. And that can really affect the driving too, make it rough. Don't go below 30, because you don't want to wear out the outside of your tires. If you have too much air, you're going to know right away, because you're going to wear just the center of your tire. And if you have too little air, you'll start wearing on the outside of your tire. You want to have just nice, even wearing on the tire. Like I said, this one says 38 pounds, so I'd probably go around 32, maybe 30. And I bet you the other tire is the exact same. So again, you want to do that. You want to check your tire pressure. Another thing that you're going to want to do, and I have a video on this, and I would do it at least once a season, is change the oil in your CVT transmission. So inside here, there's gear oil. You're definitely going to want to drain it out. Like I said, I do have a video on how to do the oil change on these. It's not that hard. It has a very thick 80W90 gear oil in there. And like I said, I would do it once a season. Just in case, you know what I mean? If you want to make this last, this is your go-to to get to work type thing. All these little things are going to help out taking care of it. So, and as you put more miles on it, you find it start running a little rough, anything like that, you can always take it in and have it serviced. I find with these scooters, once you get to a certain mileage, you do the valve clearance on them. Again, I have another video showing how to do the valve clearance. And when you do the valve clearance, it seems to help a lot more with performance and things like that. And things get loose over time, and valves need a little bit of adjusting. It just happens. And it will help out with your ride. You'll find your acceleration gets better. You'll find out your mileage gets better, things like that. So that's it, guys. That's how you take care of your 50cc scooter. I'm still waiting on my battery to charge there. It stopped doing the recondition now, and now it's going back to full charge. So I will put that back in that little red scooter when I'm done. And that's it. So definitely, if you have any questions or concerns about your scooter, you can always call customer service here. But that's it, guys. Hope you liked the video. So like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one.